Welcome back to Nick Lenz' Comic Corner, classic/slash non-classic. This is number 593 and Doubleshot number 487. Like the last episode, a Flash trade and DC trade. But this time, starting off with the Flash trade, and that is The Flash by Mark Waid, Book 3. These issues are issues 80 to 94. Roughly a 15 issues trade. Now, a couple of these issues I personally own myself, because I bought them at a comic shop. Yeah, there's a 2-issue guest star appearance by Nightwing and Starfire right after the controversial issue 100 of New Titans, where they kind of got married, and of course had Raven sort of rape Starfire and make out with her. I'm not kidding, read the issue. It's one of the most bizarre Teen Titans issues ever published. Yeah, also they also have Magentic, I think her name is. Yeah, Frances Kane. Yeah, she pops up in here as well. Linda Park and Wally are not officially married yet. They are still dating. Yeah, despite the fact she's in the book, she's not exactly married to him yet. So the whole thing of what will happen with their kids, that doesn't happen for several years at this point. We also get a chance to see the return of Iris West, Wally's aunt, and the widow of Barry Allen, Wally's predecessor as the Flash, and the debut of a character who a lot of people like, even though at the time he was a different code name. It's a debut of the second Kid Flash, Bart Allen. Yep, Iris's grandson from the future. Yeah, because she's originally from the 31st century. That is not a joke. They actually revealed that. That is something that they did with Iris for some strange reason. Yeah, it was to explain away her resurrection despite being murdered by the Reverse Flash. One of like 2 characters Reverse Flash ever murdered. The other being Barry Allen's mother, Nora Allen. Yeah, he killed her by stabbing her with a knife. Yeah, but that's not revealed in here at all. Yep. Now the whole point of Impulse being here, the whole point of his little 2-parter, Reckless Youth, is to help set up his ongoing series. Yeah, it's just a backdoor pilot to his series, which Mark Waid and Berto Ramos did for about 2 years. The issue series itself lasted for 89 issues. Yeah, roughly almost 8 years, and had 2 annuals published. Not bad. Plus, it had a guest star appearance by Blockbuster for 1 issue. Yep. I'm trying to think, though, what else, though? Yeah, the whole thing of... Now, the thing with this book is, now, despite the fact there was some annuals published at this point, there was no annuals put in this trade at all. I don't know why, though. I would think it'd be a good idea, but yeah. This book would also be the debut of Mike Werner as the artist of the book. I think it was also his debut as comic books at that point, along with Rob Haynes, Barry Kitson, Chris Curtis, and Carlos Paccio. Yeah. Oh, Mike Dowd Jr. is the inker in here. Yeah, Mike Dowd Jr., I believe he's known for doing like very darkish style artwork. Yeah, I think that's about correct. But I gotta hand it to Waid. These issues were fantastic. Though Jeff Johns, they kind of fixed the character Frances Kane. Well, he had to become a villain called Magenta, though she did forgive Wally for leaving her. Yeah, she actually forgave him, despite the fact he was married at that point. And Mark Waid's run of the book was a long run. Like, he probably had the longest run in the history of this title. I think now Jeff Johns' run was roughly about, I think it was about 4 or 5 years. This was almost 10 years. Yes, an almost 10-year run on The Flash. By far, the longest writer who ever actually stuck with this book. Just by thinking other writers stick with the book, but at least Mark Waid did this book for a long period of time. Also, at one point, he's briefly framed for attacking a lawyer, who turned out to be Abracadabra. Yep, he pops up in here as well. And I gotta hand this. This is actually really good. I love this book. 9.5 out of 10. I like to hear Tivia's opinions about these particular Flash trades. What his opinions are on these things. Next up is The New Teen Titans, Volume 8. Collecting issues 49 to 58. Yeah. Oddly enough, these issues have never been reprinted before in trade. Well, 50 has, but the rest of the issues, nope. Yeah, simply put, these issues kind of wrap up some loose ends. They've been going on since the Jewish contract, like the whole thing of the trial of Deathstroke. And of course, on the cover, as you see, the wedding of Donna Troy and her husband. I believe his name is Robert Loring. Yeah. I heard something that apparently people found this guy creepy. I have read every single issue featuring this guy. Never found the guy creepy, despite the fact he's an older guy. At least the fact that he found a gorgeous woman to be his second wife. Yep. He found a gorgeous woman, second wife. We also see the return of the Fatal Five, where Jinx makes her first appearance in here. She joins Fatal Five, replacing Dr. Light. Though they briefly add a sixth member who kind of looks like the present-day version of Wildfire. I'm not kidding about that. Also, there's a brief setup for Crisis on Infinite Earths in here as well. Yeah, also see the debut of Cheshire. If you wonder what Cheshire looks like, drawn by what she looked back in the 80s, which is not much different how she's drawn today. Here she is, Cheshire. Also known for being the mother of Roy Harper's only child, Leanne. Yep. I'm like, dang, Roy, you got on with a gorgeous woman like her? It's like, yeah, you got so lucky. Let's see if I can find it here. Find this guy here. It shows up like right after the whole trial of Deathstroke thing. Also, there's a subplot involving Cyborg being turned back into human. Yeah, that's involved here. Also, these issues also have the debut of Sarah Charles. The woman who is kind of, let's just say, Cyborg's recurring love interest since this point in time. Yeah, they kind of dated on and off during this long-ass period of time. I'm going to try to see if I can find her, well, not exactly the first appearance, but how she looked back in the 80s. I was a little confused about this particular character. Now, here's a character named Sarah Charles, this blonde woman, and then for some reason they replace her, for no reason, with this lady. If I can find her here. Let's see. Yeah, she basically starts out as Victor's physical therapist. Yeah, this is Sarah Charles. That is her right there. Yeah, this is her debut appearance. Then, okay, why in the world would Marvel introduce this blonde woman, her name is Sarah Charles, and then she's dropped and replaced with this one for no explained reason? Yeah, I have no idea why in the world Wolfman thought this was a good idea. Yeah, interesting way to develop the character, and then for some reason we drop him for no reason. Here he is, Neutron, who, if you look at him, he looks like Wildfire from Legion of Superheroes. Yeah, I don't get why in the world that this guy was created for. This is the guy's first appearance. I think he only made like one or two appearances after this one. Awesome, this was really cool. If you're a fan of Crisis on Infinite Earths, there is a setup for that in here as well, for like 2 pages. Yeah, Simon is kidnapped, and he's brought before the Monitor and the Hairbringer from the Crisis on Infinite Earths series. And also a comic book that Marv Wolfman wrote and George Perez drew. Yeah, that's the reason why George Perez is not in the artwork for these issues. Because he left to do that awesome 12-issue maxi series. And I really wish I could review that particular trade. I really wish I could. Excuse me. But I have read it, but I've never got a chance to review it. I had it briefly when they sold it. Now, I have checked the solicits. There is a volume 9 coming out, and it's going to be collecting the stuff that comes right after this. Now, you're thinking, okay, is there a Tales of Teen Titans number 59? Yes. But it's a reprint issue. Yes, start 58 was the last new story they had for this series because New Teen Titans, which Volume 2, which started around the same, I started like right after the Juice contract, where they relaunched the series while keeping Tales of Teen Titans going briefly, and then they stopped producing new stories for the series and pretty much having it where New Teen Titans takes place 1 year in the future. Yeah, if you read it chronologically, New Teen Titans #1 takes place right after issue 58, which New Teen Titans 58, that's when Jericho, aka Joseph Wilson, the son of Deathstroke the Terminator, joins Teen Titans. Yep, he joins Teen Titans. He made his debut during the Jewish contract storyline, the same issue where Dick Grayson became Nightwing. Yeah, this book is great, and the issues in here are fantastic. Now, George Perez doesn't do all the issues, he does some of them. Yeah, I think they do give credit who does the artwork in here. Here we go. George Perez does the first 2 issues in here. Yeah, just the first 2 issues. The remaining issues done by somebody else. George Perez, well, let's see. Yeah, there's actually a couple different artists in issue 49. George Perez has pages 8 through 12 and 29 to 30. 13 to 28 is done by Carmine Infantino, very famous artist. I look up the work. 50 is definitely done all by Perez. Rick Buckler does issues 51 to 54. Ron Randall does issue 55. And the last 3 issues are done by Chuck Patton. Yep, with Mike DiCarlo as the inker for pretty much most of the issues, at least about 3 issues in here. Yeah, several of the issues done by him. Ryan also has the inking for issue 55. What's my rating for this? 10 out of 10. Fantastic series. I highly recommend getting this particular trade, plus the first 7 volumes. Now, if you're wondering when does Volume 9 come out, July. And that collects the first 9 issues of New Teen Titans Volume 2. Alright. So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned. Probably tomorrow I'm going to do the next 2 reviews, which is going to be a Deathstroke trade and a Flash related trade, where you'll find out what is next episode, along with 2 volume 2s of Rebirth stuff. One dealing with Green Arrow, the other one dealing with Super Sons. Yeah, you figure out what the stories are for those in the next couple episodes. But next episode will be recorded tomorrow. Guess it's getting kind of late. Alright, but until we see you in the next episode, bye. Yeah.